What's going on, Wolfpack fam? It's your boy Kid back at it again. Hope everyone is doing great. This is your boy Kid back at it with some Ricky Gervais Show. This is season 1, episode 7. This one is called The Diary. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Carl's been on holiday again, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because, Carl, you don't do anything.
And you have weekends off. You take at least 5 or 6 weeks holiday a year, even though you haven't got a job now. You're meant to be doing this. And yet you still go
your
on
whole
holiday.
life's a holiday, basically.
Yeah, why do you need a holiday? You potter around. Your big day last week was going to the cobblers. So why do you need a break so much this week?
It's just that, you know, it's good for your brain and that, isn't it? It opens it up a bit.
You are not evidence for that.
Where did you go?
Gran Canaria.
For a week?
Yeah.
Just sitting around?
Well, there isn't much else to do at Gran Canaria. I mean, I don't want to go slagging a place off because every time I seem to talk about somewhere, get into trouble for it. Right. But it's just like a big rock. It's
Brilliant.
Just volcanic, isn't it?
And you must have looked like a little barnacle on that.
Have you been there before?
Been near it before to another rock, which was just.
But what, you've had your fingers burned, why did you go back?
Because you think, well, they can't have loads of these islands that are the same, like just a big rock with hotels on. They can't get away with it. So you think, well, the next one
get away with it. But why do you keep going to these places that are rocks? Why don't you investigate first? Ask your travel agent, is this a giant rock?
Because that's what you do, innit? You go and find out yourself. I mean, when Armstrong went to the moon, what was he expecting up there? That's a fact. That's a big rock, and he still went all that way.
I don't know what that point was.
No, so what I'm saying is, though...
What do you make of this place? You enjoy it, Gran Canaria? It was just a big rock, but
I bet the moon was better.
Really?
What did you do?
It was just one of them... It was a big hotel, like big, massive places where there's loads of people, and, you know, you go for your dinner.
That describes a hotel.
Yeah.
No,
sounds like to me.
You've nailed that.
I've been to a few, that sounds like it.
No, but do you know what I mean, though? There's the nice small ones where it's just enough people, but this is, like, mental. And it was all... It was full of old people, really.
Jeez.
I mean, that's probably why it's called Gran Canaria, right? Because it's just
Grannies
old people.
everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Old people
what I thought
vacation.
I'd start doing is start a diary.
Diary?
Okay, why?
Just because I sort of had a bit of time on my hands and that. Just thought...
Well, you're laying around. You got enough time to do it. I'll tell you about a vacation thing in a second, though.
Write it down, write stuff down.
And do you hope that this one day will become one of the great literary documents like Samuel Pepys' diary?
I haven't heard of that. Is it any good?
You've never heard of Samuel Pepys' diary?
No,
the most famous diary other than probably Anne Frank's.
I've heard of Anne Frank's and that, and I thought if she's sat in a loft, knocking stuff up.
I never read it.
Not much going on in her life
judge me.
at that point. Yet she was still writing it down.
Yeah. Whereas
Thought,
you've
well,
been to
I'm on
Gran
holiday.
Canaria, yeah.
I thought, so there is stuff going on that I can chat about. Start a diary.
Sure.
You started a diary.
I'd read his diary. Which one of you guys would read his diary? I for sure would read his diary. One thing I want to say before I forget about the hotels and stuff. I once did my research on a place. It said it was like great. It was nothing like what it said. False advertising. Oh shit! I was freaking pissed. One of the worst vacations. It was so boring. You would basically stayed at the hotel. So that shit sucked balls.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Did you keep it up every day?
Yeah, just...
Oh, can I read it, please?
Well, a diary is meant to be sort of...
Please, can I read some out on this podcast?
Do it.
Carl.
Some of it, though, is only relevant to me. It's sort of...
Oh, this is... Please, give me it. Oh, my God.
And he had it on him.
I haven't just...
Jesus! Looks like an encyclopedia.
It's huge. It's about a foot long, and it's oh, that is amazing. Imagine if Anne Franks had been like that. As she got out, right? Everyone would have heard it clank down on the desk.
Yeah, but my writing's quite big, isn't it?
Oh, look! Give us that.
Jesus! You see how big that shit is? What he put 2 sentences per page? Jesus!
Do you know about joined up writing? Have you heard about
There's
that?
no point.
Amazing.
Sometimes you can't read it, can you? So it's best to...
Okay.
Look at ancient times.
Oh my God! It starts on the first day. This is wonderful. Going on holiday to Gran Canaria today. Woke up to the news that Tony Banks had died. There was a piece on the news about how everyone was shocked. Got me thinking about an invention that would be good. Right, a watch that counted down your life. If it says you've got 3 days left, go to the
Jesus.
doctors.
That shit sounds scary alone. I don't want to know when I'm going to die. I'm scared.
Told Suzanne about invention. She said she wouldn't buy one. but she said that about the iPod.
How would this device work? This watch. I mean, how would you know when you were about to die? Is that a concern? Again, not for you to worry about, presumably the boffins and
No, all I was thinking is that Tony Banks fella, you know, he died and everyone was shocked about it. But if you had like a little watch on...
But how does it work? You can't just say, wouldn't it be good? How would this work? Yeah, I imagine you're in the patent office going, got an idea. They go, oh, certainly, Mr. Pilkington, what's your idea? Watch that counting down your life. Oh, how does that work?
Just wear it, just pop it on your wrist.
No, what do you mean, just pop it on your wrist? How does it work? Just pop it on your wrist. Brilliant. You're an idiot.
Well, it's interesting that he goes on. The flight to Gran Canaria was a bit bumpy. I thought about the clock that counts down your life again, and I wondered if it would know if you were going to die in a disaster. No!
Imagine for a second having a watch like that, just having that information. How the hell would it work, first off, as the first question? But at the same time, if whatever reason he did get it worked then, that'd be kind of scary.
He's querying his own design.
He's wondering if he would know. He's invented this.
And now he's not even sure. A fella on the plane was reading Koi Mag. It was a fishing magazine. I glanced over and noticed he was reading the Pond of the Month article. Don't think they could make it into a weekly magazine. What?
That sounds like a freaking porno magazine. You got the flip out and shit?
To be fair to you, because I remember seeing a guy on the train once reading Carp Monthly, a magazine dedicated entirely to carp, and it had Carp of the Month. And I just thought, you know, once you're like 3 months in, the editor must be stressing. Have we got any more carp? We got a carp that's actually done anything?
I reckon if they used the same one twice, there wouldn't be many complaints.
No one would be noticing.
No, that's the carp they used 2 years ago.
There was a really fat bloke on the plane. He was playing on his PSP. While I waited to go to the toilet, I looked at what game he was playing. It was darts. He's that fat and lazy, you can't even face playing a more active game on a games console.
What the freak? Darts?
Me and Suzanne got off the coach along with a couple of old people. One of them was in a wheelchair. I don't think it was wise of them to come to a volcanic island with a wheelchair. Everywhere's pretty rough, paving and slopey. Guess I'll keep an eye on it as the weeks go on.
That's pretty crazy.
Day 2 in Gran Canaria.
Brilliant, we're only at day 2.
The hotel's a bit odd. I've never seen as many cross-eyed people in one location.
I'm sorry. What the?
That's amazing.
I would love to fully read this guy's diary. Does he really have a diary like this? If he did they really read some of his diary? This is true? This true stuff?
Well, you may as well let me read on a bit more.
No, this is amazing.
We'll come back to
This
it
is a
later,
brilliant diary. This might be the best diary ever written. Oh.
While sat listening to the Kinks on my iPod, I wondered if everybody thinks in their accent. I know I do. What's this? What are you talking about?
Just that...
The
you know,
vernacular
when
form?
I've been
What's he
sat
talking about,
there
baby?
lying on the lounger, right, and I was thinking about stuff.
How do you know you think in your accent? Tell me a typical thought.
Because what I mean is, say if I was like, if I saw something, right? Do you know how I say like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, but
that was
I don't
being
have
said.
to. But when you think, I don't think the sentence is like I'm saying it. It's just a thought. The thought appears. It's conceptual and it's already there. It's not like I go, Rick, what? Just looking at that fellow over there, were you? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was thinking it looks a bit weird. Oh, so was I. I don't think out whole sentences.
Whereas you have Carl, stop listening to the Kinks for a minute. Look over there. More cross-eyed people.
Well, that's
Is that how your mind works?
In a way, yeah. And
Brilliant.
that's when because I
That
thought
explains a lot.
It's great that he has to.
These guys
think
always
about
bragging
whole
on him.
sentences.
because I thought that's weird, isn't it? Like I didn't think that's weird, isn't it? And I thought I actually think in my accent. And then I thought, does Stephen Hawking, does he, when he's doing his maths and that, is he? I don't know where he's from, so I don't know what his accent would be like.
I think he's from Kent or Cambridge or Oxford. Or something like
Right.
that.
So
So you think he might think in his
voice,
accent.
in that voice,
his
box
computerised
thing.
voice?
That's a
Just
bit
wondered.
weird.
Had lunch inside today due to shite weather. Sat next to an old fella. Old men's ears and noses carry on growing as they get older. Suzanne noticed his fingers were fat too. Maybe they continue to grow. Suzanne didn't laugh when I said her arse had the same problem.
I ain't dissing the guy
Day
who's
3,
running right
cloudy
next
start
to
to
him
the
and
day.
shit.
Had pie and chips in a cafe. Had a bit of an argument with Suzanne because I thought it was daft that we were paying for food when we were on an all-inclusive holiday. Changed my mind when I saw they sold pie though. The cafe was called Tattoos. The fellow who owned it didn't have any tattoos. But we never saw his wife.
Odd name for a restaurant, too.
Had a drink in a bar. Everyone sat and watched one of the local cats lick its bollocks.
That's the most boring bar I've ever heard of.
It's the greatest holiday in the world.
Jesus. What a fucking vacation.
Entertainment in that town.
Went back to the hotel and had a sleep before tea. I love the fact you're moaning about old people, but you're just as bad.
You've done nothing so far.
But he go to sleep 6 o'clock at PM and
He
shit.
said nothing, he's got a big hip. Woke up to news about ducks being badly treated. There was a really ugly one with bent legs.
I'm gonna die. Why does he write this down? Oh, God.
I think this is a great diary, guys.
There is a
Sign it.
fat bloke from Bolton who is in the pool as I write this. He's got a big tattoo on his back, but I can't work out what it is. ... He just got out of the pool and burped.
Oh, shit.
Just felt like you had to keep us abreast of that.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Everything's in the diary. I just seen it get to the point where you're going, breathed in,
Yeah.
breathed out again.
There was a big fat fella in the sea who kept his T-shirt on. If you're big and fat, is there more chance of you getting burnt because there's more of you on show? I asked Suzanne, and she said she didn't know in that sort of not listening kind of way. I wanted to hang about to see if the fat bloke was going to get in the kayak. But
Holy shit.
Suzanne said we had to head back. Just let him wait in to see if he's going to capsize.
Oh, that would have been hilarious. I would have been laughing.
We go home today, so we got up early to get the last bit of cloud.
No, it's just that it wasn't. It's not that sunny all the time. I mean, I was sat in weather that if it was like that here, there's no way I'd be sat in the garden. But because you're on holiday, it's like, well, we got to sit in it. Put your coat on.
This happened to me one time. I went on a vacation to Puerto Rico, and at the time, it rains a lot. But when we went there, one of the couple that was there told us that, man, we came at the perfect time because it was literally like raining 3 weeks straight and shit. So sometimes hit or miss and stuff when it comes to vacations and stuff, that the weather is crazy or it's good. We got
So
lucky.
are you going to continue to write this diary?
I think you should
Every
write this
single
It's
day?
diary.
amazing. Keep this diary up. It's amazing.
No, I will keep
Best
it up. Because what
diary
I found
ever.
as well is, I think earlier on before I went away, I think I did learn something, and because I wrote it down, I remembered it a bit better. So
What was that?
I just was thinking then, I forgot it now, but
Should have wrote it down. I'm one of those guys that personally writes down a lot of stuff. Are you, boys and girls, one of those people that does write down their notes and stuff, whether it's goals or whatever, diary, I have a journal. I write my shit down, though. I write a lot of my thoughts down.
but I remembered looking back at it and not having to read it all because I remembered the end of it before I read it, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Harry from Canterbury wants to know whether any of us have ever had any cruel nicknames. He claims that he's quite tall and rather hirsute, and he says he's often called Lurch or Wolfie. He's always thought that Carl looks a bit like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. No, there's no potato that round. But I suppose you could fashion a potato to be that round.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, if anyone can carve a potato into the roundest head ever, pop a couple of eyes on it.
Make it look as much like Carl as possible.
Exactly.
But yeah, any nicknames? Did you ever have a nickname, Rick?
No, mine was boring. I didn't have any. It was just around the name, like Jerv or something like that. No, I didn't have a nickname.
I want to know your nicknames that you guys were called in school. I think one of mine was called Smurfy Brown. Yeah, that was probably one thing that happened to me around 7th or 8th grade. It's called Smurfy Brown, so a mix between Charlie Brown and a Smurf and shit, since I was so short in school.
Names.
I always wanted a nickname. I just thought it was quite cool for some reason, particularly because gangsters always seem to have nicknames. You
Lefty.
know, Fingers,
Yeah.
Lefty, yeah. Scarface.
Yeah.
And so I decided that I thought, because no one was giving me a nickname at school, it was kind of annoying, or certainly not to my face,
Yeah.
that I decided to just come up with one.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was at lunch once, and I just said to my mate Phil,
How old were you?
12, 13.
Brilliant.
I just said to him, Phil, don't know if you know, mate, but people aren't calling me Steve anymore. Everyone's calling me Spud now.
Spud?
Now, I don't know why I thought Spud. It's weird, we should talk about Mr. Potato Head. I don't know why I thought Spud was a was a cool nickname. I think
It's a grown-up name, though, isn't it?
and it's also because I think it sounded like it was probably either something that you'd find in one of those kids' books, like the Famous Five, or like the Bash Street Kids. There'd be Spud, and I always imagine with Spud, he's not the leader of the gang, but he's a reliable member.
I think
You know what I mean?
Spud is the biggest lorry driver in one particular sort of car park.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here comes Spud.
Yeah.
And he gets out, all right, boys. And he's big and massive. And Spud can eat 2 breakfasts.
Exactly, yeah. But I just, in my mind, it was, that I would be one day part of a gang, and it's, I'm Pinky, this is Jojo, and the tall guy's Spud.
And
you know,
it didn't catch
it
on,
never
did it?
really caught. And he just went, oh, yeah, right. And no one started, and I was hoping he'd go, everyone's calling Steve Spud.
Yeah.
But of course...
Hey, Spud. The first time I said Spud, you go, what?
Yeah, that nickname is whack. I don't like that nickname. What nickname would you guys be called?
Exactly.
You'd be really proud, wouldn't you? No.
That
Did you have a
name.
nickname?
Not
Really, I mean, there was a lot of people on the estate that I grew up on. Nicknames are big things on estates and that.
Yeah.
A lot of my dad's mates, right? What their nicknames did was tell you about them. Do you know how I said about the Elephant Man's a good name?
Yeah.
Because, you know what you're going to get. If someone said, Elephant Man's popping around in a bit, it wouldn't be a shock when he walked in.
Yeah.
Right? So it worked in that sort of
His drawings
sort of
are
thing,
crazy.
So there was John the Screw, right?
John the Screw?
Yeah.
Whether he had sex a lot or he worked in a prison.
No, he had a DIY shop. so you had
Okay,
it.
right.
There was Fred the Veg,
Yeah.
which is
I assume it's because he was at the same IQ as you.
Or
Oh,
he was in a
shit.
coma.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Right.
There was my uncle Tattoo Stan.
All right.
Tattoo stand, okay.
He had loads of tattoos that he'd just done himself.
Oh my
Right.
God.
The problem was, because he did his tattoos himself, the ones on his left arm were really good. Because he was right-handed. On his right arm, rubbish. So there was him.
Oh, shit.
Great.
And there was Jimmy the Hat.
Jimmy
who-
the Hat.
Yeah.
Did
And
he always wear a hat?
No, he didn't. That was the point there. That he never wore a hat.
That's amazing.
Brilliant.
How can you pick up on someone never wearing a hat? How would you ever notice? I'll tell you what, I've noticed something about Jimmy. What?
Go on.
He doesn't wear a hat. Why was he not called Jimmy the Parrot? Because he never carries a parrot.
No, but that's just the way. I mean, that's how they work in it. I mean,
Here comes Jimmy Three Legs. Why'd you call him that? He hasn't got 3 legs.
I didn't really have one apart from I had a CB. Like when you'd go on a CB radio and have a chat to people.
Oh, this was a craze in the was it late 70s, early 80s?
Sort of early 80s.
And it was just short band radio, wasn't it? Everyone had these little handsets and they'd speak to each other in the sort of local area.
Yeah, it was mainly. I think it started off with
Lorry
truckers
drivers,
and
isn't it?
that.
Yeah, truckers, yeah, because there was that thing from about 1977,
Convoy.
it was Convoy, yeah.
Yeah, so I had one of them, and the handle. I had 2
Handle
different
mean
names.
is your nickname, your
Yeah,
name?
there's loads of code stuff.
Yeah.
I had a couple. I had there was Pilkey 01, because
Right.
like I say, there's a lot of Pilkingtons and that in Manchester. So if someone wants Pilkey 02, it's open. Do you know what I mean? They can have it. And then
Like it's people scrabbling. I want a Pilkey one.
We got a bogey inbound.
and then because I did boxing and that,
Well, you did it once.
Yeah.
I had Boxer Boy. Because I
Boxer
thought
Boy?
that's quite a good image as well. That's kind of like people going, oh, don't mess with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he asks what your handle is, tell him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Boxer Boy in that.
Yeah.
So just had them two, and I used to just go on there and...
Pointless. What is the point of this?
These nicknames suck. I'm just kidding. But I remember watching one episode of The Wire, and one of the guys was named Little Chris, but he was very heavy set and stuff. So it's a good way of having a nickname is for camouflage, especially the cops were hunting you and stuff. Little Chris, but he was big. So
You
those
just
things
meet
made sense to
people,
me.
don't
And you
So-
don't meet people. You say, "What's your handle?" They go, "Box Boy." What's yours? Rubber duck. All right, cheers.
No,
It's
but then
ridiculous.
you'll say, then you go, oh, what's your 20?
What's that mean?
That's, where are you?
Well, why don't you say, "Where are you?"
Because just in case there's someone who's listening in...
Code
who-
names, yeah.
who, you
I had a
hear
couple
about
jobs
this all the
like
time,
that.
don't you? People listening, jotting stuff down.
Oh, right. So just in case someone in the world doesn't know what handle means, they're out of the loop. They're out of the loop.
It's not a difficult code to crack, is it? If
Yeah.
you're trying to track someone.
It's hardly the head of the mafia talking to each other because the FBI are on the wire. It's ridiculous. Like I go, "Oh, you keep saying that, what's your handle?" And they come back with something else. I can't work out what's going on.
No, it's like anything, isn't it? That's what codes. That's what codes are all about, isn't it? set them up and that.
Go on and tell me the codes then.
Reveal at long last to the world what
Yeah.
these codes
Don't do it,
are.
man.
Right, so
do it.
what's your 20? Where
Oh,
are you?
This is better than the Enigma.
Yeah.
Right, now here we go.
Right.
How many candles are you burning?
Does that mean how big's your car or something like that? Horsepower or something?
See? No, that's
Oh,
how
how-
old are
what
you?
time is it?
No, how old are you?
What? How old are you? Okay.
Right.
Right.
Okay, I didn't know
How
that.
many candles are you burning? Of course.
Yeah.
So what's the answer? Come back.
You go
I'm 15.
14.
Brilliant. That code. There's no one gonna work that out. I wish you'd have kept a diary of this because this has been fascinating.
Now and again, someone will come in and go side on, right?
What's that mean?
And that means like there's someone sat there listening into this chat and going, "This sounds interesting,"
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Unlikely.
That's scary.
Yeah.
and they want to join in, so they sort of go side on. You go side on, bring it in, right? And they go, "All right."
How many
It's
candles are you
interesting
burning?
Yeah. What's your
That's
20?
it goes round again.
Yeah.
See you later. What's your 20? How many candles are you burning?
Oh.
And, I mean, it seems to me that what you should have done is made a note the first time, so that when you then speak to them again, you don't need to ask them those questions. Can I just confirm that you're burning 15?
These guys crack me
It's
up.
that time again. Do the jingle.
Oh boy!
Okay. I'm gonna do a
Cap it
really
out.
good one.
Okay, go.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee! Monkey news, yeah.
Right, do you know it's nearly time for the Winter Olympics again?
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
Okay.
They sort of come round every 4 years.
Is it this year? Is it?
Yeah, and the last one that happened,
4 years ago. Yeah.
there was a bit of an incident.
Oh no. Do you remember any winners that were monkeys in any of the
No,
tournaments?
of course not.
No.
So
So it's not
anyway-
going to be that because it wouldn't be true. Go on.
yeah.
So anyway, one of the popular events, bobsleigh.
Bobsleigh, bobsleigh.
Right.
You know how it works.
Cool running, baby.
You
like
need
a
4
sleigh.
men. Is it 4 men or 5
4
men?
men,
It's
yeah.
4. So it's definitely 4 men that you need
Need
on a
4
bobsleigh
men.
team.
Is it and there's two team bobsleighs.
But they're always men. Is that right, Rich? Let me just clarify. With the Winter Olympics, you can't have any animals taking part.
No, and they also no, because they wouldn't be allowed. And two, there's no way they could disguise it because not only would they see it straight away, right, but they have blood tests,
Right. Okay. So,
which would show up.
so they definitely
You
know
are
if it was
They have
any
Blood
kind of
tests.
non-human.
It's impossible. It would be literally impossible to have anything other than a human
Taking
involved
part.
in a bobsleigh team.
Fine. Okay. So carry on.
So anyway, the country was doing really well in the qualifying stages.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem was there was like 2 members who were getting all like the press and stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
Anyway, so this
4
one member was getting
bobsleighers,
fed up
really
because
good.
the other 2 were getting all the press and what have you. So he said, "I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
I'm jacking it in." So they were like, "You're joking? We've qualified. We're getting into like the main race and everything. You can't leave us now." And he said, "Well, you could do it all on your own before. You know, the way you were acting, like you didn't
Yeah.
need me. So I'm going." So the clock's ticking. It's getting close to the big race and
Of
everything.
course it is. Yeah.
They're like, "What are we going to do here?"
The substitute
Right?
they took with them.
What are they
Well,
going
they
to
must
do?
have.
Yeah, they would take the substitute. So get
No,
him
they
on.
didn't have any of them and that. It's,
What?
you know, a lot of injuries and stuff.
Or just get a mate to do it. Just get a mate or a
Yeah,
friend
mate,
or the coach to do it. Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of responsibility on these people, and you know, you won't want to let your country down and that. And they were like, "What are we going to do?"
Get a waiter or anyone.
Anyway,
in the hotel.
the time comes to the race. Seems to be 3 people on it.
There appears to be 3. Okay. Yeah.
They start off, they're whizzing around the track faster than normal. They're beating their old records
Right. Amazing.
because the new fella they've got a little bit smaller.
Ah.
Right?
Is he in?
So
Is he in the
Where
bobsleigh? Or
is
is he
he?
pushing?
He's in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Right?
He's wearing a uniform and a helmet. Though we
He's
can't
got
see what he
helmet
looks like.
on.
We
He's
can't
got
see
the
his
kit
face.
on.
Can't see his face.
Nobody knows who he is, but the
course they do.
country's loving it.
course they
They're
do.
like, well, it looks like we're going to break all our records. You know, good. It's good that they found someone new.
Yeah.
Bet the other fella who left, he's sort of kicking himself, thinking, "Oh, I could have been part of this."
Damn, look at him.
Anyway,
This wasn't that bloke that had very short legs and long arms, was it?
what happened is they're whizzing round the track and what have you,
Faster than ever. Yeah.
faster than ever, and the press are like going, beating all records here. They started taking photographs. A lot of flashes from the cameras and stuff.
Right. Of course.
Suddenly, the bobsleigh goes a bit sort of mental and whizzes off the track. Ambulance comes rushing over and stuff. The other 2 members are looking pretty nervous for some reason.
Oh, what are they doing?
They're saying, "Look, don't take the helmet off because you know you can do more damage to the
Well,
neck."
don't tell the paramedics how to do it.
They know their job.
Yeah,
they know their
yeah,
job.
yeah.
So they were
Please.
like, just you know, and plus, you know, he came in at last minute to help us out. He doesn't want everyone to know who he is. He's
Yeah.
not after the limelight
Yeah.
like some of the members we used to have. But he just
Yeah.
was helping his country out.
Yeah.
Leave the helmet on. Anyway, they get him in the ambulance and stuff. The other two are looking a bit worried and what have you. They're gutted. They lost the race.
The little bloke, is the bloke not saying anything? Is he not?
He's in the ambulance now.
Is he not saying anything though?
Anyway, word reported that one of the ambulance drivers said that on that sort of dreadful night when, you know, the country lost out on a medal in the bobsleigh, he sort of reported that there was a monkey in the back of the ambulance. People were like going, you're joking.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this at all.
Well, this is it, you see, because they sort of swept it under the carpet a little bit.
Right.
They were like, this
I
is
ain't never
crazy
heard of
talk.
this.
Shit. It's
This
all
is
shit
crazy
again.
talk.
Oh,
What's
shit.
talk? Absolute shit. Where'd you get this from?
This is crazy talk, right?
It is
But-
crazy talk, and it's from the mouth of Carl Pilkington.
But the weird thing is that backed it up. Following week, there was a story of some people who visited the zoo saw a chimp in a neck brace.
This shit is too ridiculous. I love
This
it.
week's monkey news.
Oh shit! I gotta give Carl credit. He comes up with some interesting shit. Yeah, he's the freaking best. I honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I would pay to read his diary. I'm sure it'll be really funny stuff, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, guys. I really did. It was really fun. One of the better episodes so far. It just keeps getting better and better, the episodes. This one was really good. What was your nickname? Let me know if you had a nickname in school. What was it, guys? I told you mine. Let me know. If it's too bad to share, you don't have to share it. But I'd like to hear what your nicknames was in school. Would you guys read his diary? You already know my answer. Let's find out yours. We'll see you next time. Peace and love, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, guys. As always, I read them all. So we'll see you soon, guys. Peace.